there is no means the money is in.
2 minutes, Honorable Atandi, then we can
Honorable
put
Speaker,
the question.
Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I would like to reply. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the third supplementary estimates for the financial year 2024-2025 laid on the table of this House on Tuesday, 24th June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 223 of the Constitution and Section 39 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412, respect of the votes contained in the first schedule. 2, approves the decrease of the total expenditure for the financial year 2024-2025 by Kenya shillings 3,378,082,314 in respect of the votes contained in the first schedule. 3, approves an overall increase in the total budget for the financial year 2024-2025 by Kenya shillings 35,736,909,26 in respect of the votes contained in the second schedule. 4, makes financial recommendations as contained in the third schedule. And 5, approves the expenditures under Article 223 of the Constitution as contained in the fourth schedule. And 6, resolves that the first schedule forms the basis for the consideration of the Supplementary Appropriations Number 2 Bill of 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it.
Order number 12, the Supplementary Appropriation Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025, second reading.
Chairperson Budget, where is he? He's disappeared. Honorable Atandi.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, there's a lot of noise in the chambers.
Honorable members, kindly resume your seats. Honorable Tongay, you've been responded to, because it is what Honorable Junet said is the correct position. It is going to be in the main budget. Honorable Atandi, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that the supplementary appropriations 3.
Honorable Atandi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that the Supplementary Appropriations Bill number 2, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025, be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, this is the same bill which you have just passed, and therefore I really do not want to belabor much. The bill is basically allocating, the bill is basically giving the Treasury powers now to be able to spend the money. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, as we have already discussed the bill in the second reading, I really do not want to say much. I just want to move that the the supplementary appropriations bill number 2 be now read a second time. And I would like to urge my vice chairman to be able to second. Thank you.
Honorable Pukose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I now I second that the supplementary appropriation bill number 2, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025, be read a second time. Honorable Speaker, we've just finished with the supplementary bill, which is the same bill as what we are just discussing. So what this other part in the terms of appropriation is to allow the government now to spend. So I don't think there is anything much, but this is to regularize what has already been spent. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025, be read a second time. Honorable members, I now put the question that the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill of the National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 be read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of Parliament to authorize the issue of certain sums of money out of the Consolidated Fund and the applications toward the service of the year ending 30th June 2025, and to appropriate those sums for certain public services and purposes. Order number 13, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, order members, those who wish to participate in the Committee of the Whole House, please take your seats. Let us be orderly. Order members. Members who are in the Committee of the Whole House, the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025.
Clause 3.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill, Chair. There is an amendment. Chairman Budget, Honorable Atandi, please proceed.
Honorable Chair, I move that the bill be amended. The bill be amended by deleting clause 5 and substituting therefore with the following new clause: the supply granted for the services of the year ending 30th June 2025 in votes of R10.
Order, members.
R10 1014.
Order, Majority Leader.
1015.
Majority Leader.
1064.
Very kindly, those who are seated.
1072.
Order, Chair. Order, Chair. Chair, 1 minute. I think since there is an amendment in this, it is better if the Chair is heard in silence. So I request those who are consulting around the Majority Leader, please do it in lower tones. You may consult with the Majority Leader, especially the our women representatives. Okay. So now, honorable members, I would like to protect the Majority Leader. What is out of order, Honorable Kaluma?
Thing is out of order. Honorable Chair, Majority Leader is the Majority Leader of the House. And we are transacting the most fundamental role of the National Assembly under Article 95. Honorable Chair, we cannot do that when the Majority Leader is under siege. Amelaliwa.
Order, Kaluma. Order, Honorable Kaluma. Honorable members, well, this is my direction. I am a member of this House, and I have an idea as to why the women reps are consulting with the Majority Leader. So then, they may consult in lower tones. Proceed, Chair Budget.
Honorable Chair, I would like to move that the bill be amended by deleting clause 5 and substituting therefore the following new clause. The supply granted for the services of the year ending on 20th June 2025 in respect of the votes. Honorable Chair, the votes are listed here. There are very many. And in accordance with the Appropriation Act 2024, the amounts reduced specified in the third column of the second schedule. So if you look at the third column schedule, the amounts, the changes are listed.
Are you able to summarize?
I've already summarized. Yeah, there are many. So
there are many?
Yes, I will summarize.
So thank you, Chair. Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I heard the voice of the Majority Leader.
Chair, just as a point of information, since the Honorable Kaluma seems to insinuate that I'm under siege. Honorable Speaker, I was just consulting with the women reps and assuring them, and I hope Honorable Tongei and Honorable Donya are listening, that the 500 million that was taken away in this financial year has been added to the 3.5 billion that was in the estimates for 25-26. So only 3 weeks from now, you will have 4 billion shillings up from 3.5 billion. So that this siege I was under, Honorable Speaker, can now end. You have an additional 500 million to give you 4 billion in the next financial year. For FONGAF, yes. Because these women MPs are very good people, especially those who are keen to detail and doing their work in this house, not just shouting out. Thank you.
Majority Leader, you may take your seat. And thank you for the explanation and assurance to the women reps. Minority Leader, Honorable Junet.
Madam Speaker.
Kindly use the next mic, Majority
Madam
Leader.
Speaker, I want to thank the Majority Leader for that clarification. Madam Speaker, the government is very important money in this country. And that 4 billion, is it not only going to be budgeted for? We will make sure it is also appropriated and exchequer given, Mr. Speaker, even before CDF, Mr. Speaker.
Timely on.
So members, in the interest of time, Member for Seme, the Chair Health.
Chair, I just want to add for our colleagues, if this money had actually been left here, they would have lost it. Because in the next 2 days, it would be virtually impossible to have used this money. The fact that this money has now been moved to the next financial year, we have actually saved the money for our colleagues. So I think that is what the point I wanted to clarify. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, honorable members, for your comments. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule be the first schedule of the bill. There is an amendment, Chairman. Honorable Atandi.
Honorable Chair, I move that the first schedule to the bill be deleted and replaced with the new schedule which is attached in the supplementary order paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I propose the question that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question that the first schedule. You would like to make a comment on about Dr. Makali Mulu? Yes, you may. You have the mic, Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu.
You know, Madam Chair, we are talking about figures. I'm sure we have not amended the whole schedule. Why can't we be told what has been changed and what is it for? Because we are discussing the budget, we are not discussing general things. You know, Madam Chair, we are taking this process so casually as a house. I don't know why we want to do this. Why don't we just be told what has been changed? Because we can't have changed the whole schedule.
Honorable Dr. Makali, since you are a member of Budget Committee, I thought you would also expound. Okay. What is out of order, Minority Leader?
Speaker.
Honorable Junet Mohammed.
Madam Speaker, as the minority side, just wait, as the minority side, sorry, that is out, it's not answered. Madam Speaker, as the minority side, we have given Dr. Makali the privilege and the honor to represent us in the Budget Committee. And it is him who should tell us what contains this report. He's behaving like a layman here, asking for details in front of the public, in front of the House. If he was sleeping in the sessions of the budget, then let him give way to somebody else who can understand budget making. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Chair, I put the question. Yes, Honorable Makali Mulu, I give you a chance to respond.
Yes.
I can also give you an opportunity to expound on what,
You know, Madam Chair.
what is in this schedule.
Madam Chair, with all due respect, and I think members should listen to me.
Order, Honorable Kaluma.
With all due respect.
Let the member for Kitui Central be heard in silence.
Madam Chair, with all due respect.
Let him be heard.
Kaloma, you cannot gang me. Kaloma, I've been elected by the Kitui Central people here.
Order, Honorable CNN. Honorable Charles Nguna, please take your seat. Honorable Kaluma.
You can go to her. You know, Madam Chair, what I'm saying is this.
He is on a point of order, let him speak.
Kaluma, you're not sitting on the speaker's chair, and I have the mic.
Order, Honorable Kaluma. Normally you are a very orderly member, Honorable Kaluma.
And I want to tell Honorable Kaluma, Makali Mulu is not the kind of people you can intimidate.
Makali Mulu now.
I cannot be debated by anybody in this house. With all due respect to my minority leader, in quotes, he knows very well that I cannot be a lay person in budget making in this country. And this is what I was saying, Honorable Speaker. The earlier debate which Honorable Kajwang raised, the issue of when this budget was presented and discussed, I can tell you for sure, I'm a member of the Budget Committee, but communication to our committee came on Thursday, late in the night, when we were proceeding Friday, Saturday to our own things. So I did not even sit for this session. And it's not a mistake that I didn't sit. But what I'm saying is, Honorable Chair, is we are in a committee of the whole House, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Dr. Makali, you have made your point.
Even if I sat there,
you have made your point.
Chair.
Honorable Junet Mohammed. Honorable Kaluma, you know very well that when you are on your feet and Honorable Junet Mohammed is on his feet, in terms of order of precedence, he is the one to speak. Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, the supplementary estimates were tabled in this House in good time. And members had enough time to scrutinize it, and the committee had enough time, Madam Speaker, under the able chairmanship of Honorable Atandi. If Honorable Makali was busy coordinating and supervising other functions, like what's happening today in the country, then that is up to him. I know our colleagues in Wiper were busy organizing. That was a different matter.
I'll only, Honorable Kaluma. After that, I will give the chair a chance, and you will summarize.
Chair, mine only to say, Chair, my only point is to say that the matter being raised by Honorable Makali Mulu was raised by Honorable Kajwang, and there was a substantive ruling on it. We are now contributing clause by clause based on information we have as members. And this thing has left the committee. My point of order is that we should not be taken back to what the Speaker substantively ruled on in committee. We should proceed to the subject matter under the Committee of the Whole House.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kaluma. The chair, you will be the last on this one.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, Dr.
Honorable
Makali.
Chair, Honorable Chair, I'll give a chance first of all to the majority leader, then I'll come to you.
Chair, I want to agree with the members who've spoken, especially what Honorable Kaluma and Junetta have said, because it is wrong for the Honorable Makali to insinuate that there was no time for consideration of these supplementary estimates, because we were all seated here when these estimates were tabled here, and the chair stood in his place and gave a program of events on what would happen. The Honorable Makali Mulu is a member of the Budget and Appropriations Committee that considered these estimates. And therefore, to stand here in his place here and insinuate that there was no time for consideration when all the other 20 plus 26 members had time to sit and consider those estimates. I was just checking, Honorable Speaker, whether the Honorable Makali attended those meetings, but I am told he was not able to attend because he was attending some, it was done over the weekend, and he was attending some church, Salvation Army Church somewhere in Karen with the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, speaking against economic empowerment programs, while himself and the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka were empowering a church of very rich men in Karen, when the people of Kitui Central have no churches. How I wish the Honorable Makali Mulu was using that time to empower churches in Kitui Central, not to empower rich men in Karen. Honorable Makali Mulu, with your party leader, please go and empower churches, those Mabati churches in Kitui, in Mwingi, instead of empowering rich men in Karen. Men who lives in houses worth 500 million shillings. How can you go empower such people in Karen when you are not empowering people in Kitui Central, Honorable Makali Mulu, honestly? And that is the time you would have used in committee. The committee sat on Friday, they sat on Saturday, they even sat on Sunday and Monday. And they missed your expertise, Honorable Makali. Please, next time, spend your time with the committee, not empowering rich men in Karen.
Chair, you are the last on this one.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, let me say that Dr. Makali is a competent member of Budget Committee. Unfortunately, he was not with us when we were processing the supplementary 3 estimates. But having said that, I want to explain the changes that we are making. Madam Chair, the first schedule contains votes that were presented to us by National Treasury. Madam Chair, after the bill was presented to us, we made changes. Some of the changes we made include inclusion of NGZDF, which was not in the original schedule. There are also some more changes that were introduced by National Treasury through a memo. That is why we are changing the entire schedule. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put the question that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the first schedule as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Second schedule.
I propose the question that the second schedule be the schedule of the bill. Chair, we have an amendment, Chair.
I would like to move that clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the words 49.
We are on the second schedule.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Clerks.
Sorry. It's not here.
Proceed, Chair. You may come to the table, Honorable Chair. Honorable members, after consultation. Honorable members, after consultation, I would like us to go back to the second schedule. I propose the question. Chair, would you like to say something before we proceed?
Chair, we have an amendment of the second schedule. Unfortunately, it's not appearing in the order paper. I would like to move that the second schedule be amended and substituted with the following new schedule, which is captured in the supplementary order paper.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the second schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable members, I now put the question that the second schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. I now put the question that the second schedule as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. We have an amendment, Chair. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move that clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the words 49,399,970. Sorry. I would like to move that clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the words 49,390,907,913, appearing after the words sum of and substituting therefore the words 52,773,822,970. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chairman. Budget. I go ahead and put the question. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. No amendment, so I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? There is have it. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 and its consideration and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Madam Chairperson, you may move.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report to the Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 and approved the same with amendments. Thank you, Speaker.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the supplementary appropriation bill number 2, Bill National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 and its approval thereof with amendments.
Seconder.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report and also request Honorable Dr. Pukosi to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the House.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the supplementary appropriations number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 be now read a third time. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 be now read a third time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
An Act of Parliament, the supplementary a bill for an Act of Parliament to authorize the issue of certain sums of money out of the Consolidated Fund and their applications towards the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2025 and to appropriate sums for certain public services and purposes. Order number 14, motion, report on the Consolidated Fund services expenditures for the third supplementary estimates for the financial year 2024-2025.
Who's moving on behalf of the Chairperson, Public Debt and Privatization Committee? Okay, one moment. What's your point of order? There was a point of order on this side. Yes, Honorable Awunda.
Speaker, I was just wondering with the indulgence, if you could have dispensed of order number 7 on the order paper, because we skipped it in view of the urgency and importance of the supplementary appropriation bill 3. So just wondering, Speaker, with your indulgence, because I'm sure there isn't many questions or requests. Just asking for your indulgence, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, now that I've read order number 14 out, allow us to just dispense with order number 14, then we'll rearrange the order paper to accommodate statements and questions. Thank you. Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Public Debt and Privatization Committee on its consideration of the Consolidated Fund Services for the Supplementary 3 for year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 24th June 2025. Honorable Speaker, the review of the Consolidated Fund. Honorable Speaker, the review of the Consolidated Fund Service (CFS) under Supplementary Estimate Number 3 for financial year 2024-2025 offers an encouraging signals for Kenya's evolving fiscal landscapes. Notably, CFS expenditures are projected to decline by Kenya shilling 295.28 billion from Kenya shilling 2.2 trillion to Kenya shilling 1.99 trillion. Honorable Speaker, public debt service continues to dominate CFS allocations, accounting for 88% of total expenditures. While this underscores the weight of debt-related obligations on the national budget, it also highlights a significant opportunity, the need to institutionalize structured and predictable liability management. By doing so, the government can unlock more sustainable fiscal space, offer the medium term, support development priorities, and protect essential public services. Honorable Speaker, major changes under the Consolidated Fund Services include, under domestic debt redemption payments, a reduction by Kenya shilling 186.5 billion from Kenya shilling 569.9 billion to Kenya shilling 385.4 billion, primarily on account to reduction of Kenya shilling 184.2 billion in the provision made to cover any shortfall in the redemption of treasury bills from Kenya shilling 200 billion to Kenya shilling 15.89 billion. And the external debt services is projected to decline by Kenya shilling 110 billion from Kenya shilling 704.9 billion to Kenya shilling 594.9 billion. The changes is as a result of the following. Under the external debt redemption payments, a reduction of Kenya shilling 114.87 billion or 24% reduction to Kenya shilling 361.5 billion from Kenya shilling 474.4 billion, attributed to liability management targeting the Trade Development Bank syndicated loan, of which the amount due Kenya shilling 173.8 billion will decline to Kenya shilling 58.97 billion. Honorable Speaker, there are no changes instituted to the allocations for pensions, salaries, and allowances for constitutional and independent office holders and other miscellaneous expenditures. Cumulatively, these expenditures will remain at Kenya shilling 246.97 billion. Honorable Speaker, as such, the committee observes that the current gains from liability management operation, though welcome, should be anchored in a robust policy framework. The absence of a comprehensive national liability management policy has limited the strategic deployment of debt reorganization tools such as prepayments, swaps, and restructuring. Formalizing such a policy will allow the National Treasury to plan proactively, reduce refinancing risks, and better align fiscal outcomes with the country's long-term development agenda. In this regard, Honorable Speaker, the committee has recommended the following. National Treasury should, within 60 days of the adoption of this report, develop and publish a comprehensive national liability management policy, and the policy should articulate clear guidelines and measurable targets aimed at reducing the debt service burden and enhance fiscal space. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and request Honorable Kasalu, MP, to second. Thank you.
Honorable Kasalu, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
that's pretty unusual. Members, I propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Public Debt and Privatization Committee on its consideration of the Consolidated Fund Services for the supplementary estimates 3 with the financial year 2024-2025, aired on the table of the House on Tuesday, 24th June 2025. Request those who want to contribute on this to press the intervention button. I can see the Honorable Ikiara Dorothy, you on this? The Honorable Adan. So let's have the Honorable James Mikal.
Chair, I support this, and I'll be very, very brief. Actually, this is a very important motion. We really, for a long time, have not had this. And if you look at it very carefully, it's actually part of the budget, because we are actually going to indicate what debt we are paying, when we are paying them. And what this report has indicated, that in 60 days, we should have that published. So Speaker, mine is just to ask the committee that we really must get that, and that report should come in good time. This one, I think the report came yesterday. Many members have probably not seen it, but that other report which will give us the detail, we would like it to come in good time. Members read it, because if you are not careful how debts are handled, then you will find that debts may be actually paid in a preferential manner. I know we had a committee dealing with this, and probably what we are going to get is from that committee. But let's have that report within 60 days given to the House in good time, so that we actually look at it and see how we handle our debts and the details therein. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The member for Funyula.
Speaker, sometimes it's difficult to manage to deal with this matter. Just a few days ago, Honorable Speaker, when we were actually doing the budget, similar recommendations were made that within 60 days, even when we were doing the first supplementary budget, the same story within 60 days. I don't know, Speaker, one day you'll have to guide us. When the 60 days start and end, it's because it's becoming a boring song. Honorable Speaker, regardless to say, again, the report is not very clear on exactly what is happening, and that's why you find even the person, the honorable member, who was asked to second, had nothing useful to add other than this to say to second. But again, a fundamental issue, Honorable Speaker, the timing of these supplementary bills, whether it's under Article 223 or whichever Article 114, is indeed a very suspicious timing. I know it is important the accountants will tell you to clean up the books at the end of the financial year, but there are always restatements that can happen after the financial year. Just fundamentally, if, Honorable Speaker, you are appropriated 1 billion now, how do you absorb that 1 billion from now to Monday? How? I mean, there's something wrong somewhere, Honorable Speaker, which I really don't understand. If it was a recurrent expenditure, we can argue that there is, for example, under Consolidated Fund, there's a loan that we had forgotten to repay that is due on Friday. That somebody would understand. And then how a treasury can forget the maturity of a loan, again, that's very baffling. So again, about the recurrent expenditure for salaries for constitutional office holders, everybody would have imagined their salaries are fixed. Their allowances and remuneration are fixed. So again, the issue of supplementary and the CFS sounds, probably I might not be an expert in that matter, and probably if you give Dr. Makalu Mulu a chance to speak on this, he can educate us, the uneducated. Otherwise, I really have nothing useful to say or add, only just be left in Wonderland. How can a CFS have a supplementary budget at the tail end. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Makali Mulu, Chair Finance, wait for a minute. Just here, Honorable Makali Mulu.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I can just explain some of which can happen to have a supplementary for the CFS expenditures. Honorable members, you know very well that most of our external debt is in foreign currency in terms of denomination. Majority of it is in dollars, then the other is in euros. So one of the reasons why you could be having a supplementary is basically if there's a change in terms of exchange rate, that can trigger more resources for repayment, because once the rate changes, then automatically you'll have more than you budgeted for. The other situation is where in the process of tabulating the loans which are due, then you miss one which will be due within the year. If it happens that it has to be paid, then automatically, then you need to factor in that amount. And actually for me, CFS is easiest to have a supplementary, because once you pass the amount of paying, the earlier issues we were discussing, some of them will need procurement and you might have no time. So there's a way you can have that. But Honorable Chair, what I wanted to see in terms of this report, and I think the challenge we're having with the CFS expenditures is the issue of the budget deficit. You know, any financial year, we do fix the budget deficit every financial year. For example, we have now agreed is 4.5% of the GDP this financial year, 2025, 2026, Honorable Speaker. But you realize even when the minister came to read the summary of the budget here, 4.5% of our total budget was coming to 876 billion. When Honorable Mbandi, the CS minister, was giving the amount he's going to borrow, he said 920, and difference of 47 billion. So the report you approved here, which was from this committee, Public Debt and Privatization, was coming to 876. Now, the report read by the minister was 920 billion. So the question is, at the end of the day then, when you have a moving budget deficit, it becomes very difficult to have a budget which can be predicted. So we have a budget which is always a moving target. And I think this is something as a House we need to be firm on. So that once we agree, Honorable Speaker, that this is the amount going to be borrowed by the government this financial year, we don't have these figures changing midway, and then we keep on getting what we are getting today, that things are changing. But all said and done, Honorable members, CFS expenditures are the highest expenditure item in our budget, because now we are about almost 2 trillion. And if you look at that, it leaves minimal fiscal space for any other activity. So I think as a House, generally, we need to start thinking hard about what do we do with these CFS expenditures. And out of the CFS expenditure, the highest expenditure item is payment debt, public debt, in terms of interest repayment and the normal payment of the principal. So this is a matter we must take seriously so that we start helping the country move towards sorting out this matter. On the issue of timing, and I think that's the issue which was Honorable Oundo was raising. I think, Honorable Speaker, I've been listening since morning, and I listened to you, Honorable Speaker, when you made a contribution on the earlier motion. And one of the things we need to do as a House, Honorable Speaker, we should have no apologies to say that Treasury, they are not doing their work well. Because the reason we have this pressure, Honorable Speaker, is because Treasury is bringing these budgets too late in the day that they don't allow enough time for the House to process the budget. And I think as a House, this is a window we need to close and tell them that if you don't bring your supplementary budget a month to the end of the financial year, forget about it. In that case, then we'll be helping ourselves in terms of looking at the budget to details and seeing what is going to be paid. Item 223 has been controversial. Honorable Speaker, we joined this House together with you the same day. And we are bringing the budget committee with you for the longest time possible. Always we discuss article 223 with you. And you know the loopholes in that article in terms of the way Treasury has been using. How I wish, Honorable Speaker, that we created more time to look at some of these proposed expenditures under 223. Because these are some of the easier ways being used by some of the technocrats to missupply public resources. And I really think as a House, this matter, we must discuss it and take a firm position. I remember at one point, Honorable Band, when it was where we are seated, he was saying the same story as I'm saying, that we need to really raid Treasury on this Article 2.3 so that we get it properly utilized. Otherwise, this becomes a talking show, Honorable Speaker, and I've said many times, it's unfortunate. We want to make the 13th Parliament a talking show matters budget. It is very serious. Let's take this matter seriously. But all said and done, I think we need to support this report so that whatever payments need to be done for CFS expenditures can be done before that year June. I submit, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
For Kibra.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to also join my colleagues. The public debt has been a problem in this country for a long time. And I believe we need to itemize these debts. When it is brought to the House for discussion, we need to know what debts we are paying. Otherwise, we could be paying air for the longest period in this country. Every year, these debts increase. It's about over 9-10 trillion, the public debt. When the CS was here last time, he promised that he has constituted a committee that is going to deal with the kind of debts that he inherited in his docket. We are keeping our fingers crossed that he is going to live by his words, that these 60 days that always appear to come out from all the CSs that we have had will be a thing of the past. As a house, just as Dr. Makalu has said, we need to be given enough time as members of this house. We must not be hurriedly given documents that we need to have looked at for the last 1 month. And this Article 223 that we always come to regularize, after the expenditure, it is high time that this House puts some measures that these expenditures can only occur when they have been approved and not regularized after the usage. And that is where we are now. Otherwise, I support.
South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, also arise to support the report. But as we support the report, Honorable Speaker, I want to make some observations. That as a house or as a country, I think we can do better than this. We are having too many supplementary budgets, and as we know that supplementary budgets should just be for essential adjustments to address unexpected expenditure. But when we look at what we have just prosecuted, some of the expenditures we are adjusting were known, were not unexpected. Reductions in NGCDF, for example, that is something that should not have happened, and in GAF. Shortages, money is reduced from the various MDS, like education, capitation, university funding. These are known expenditures that should have been provided for, that we should not be adjusting under supplementary. So, Honorable Speaker, even when you look at reductions on capital expenditure due to inability to collect, we should just make sure that MDS are being realistic in their projections and making realistic projections to avoid unnecessary adjustments. Because this is affecting negatively on implementation, on MDS. There's no certainty. We cannot keep on doing so many supplementary budgets. I think going forward, we should learn from this one and improve so that we can be able to give Kenyans services so that certain functions already budgeted for are not affected. Case in point, Honorable Speaker, we know that many constituencies across the country did not even get their electricity allocations because of the various adjustments in the last financial year. But we understand that one was because of the collapse of the finance bill, which had provided for funding. And Honorable Speaker, at this point, I even want to request that those constituencies that did not get allocation for funding for electricity last mile should be considered as an affirmative action. And that is why I was saying, had we gotten the opportunity as committees to scrutinize, these are some of the allocations that we would have insisted that are factored in Supplementary 3. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman, Finance Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. One is to commend the committee on the good report and to agree with them on one of the recommendations that we made. Honorable Speaker, you will notice that the stock of debt, and specifically for this Trade Development Bank syndicated loan, it is reducing from 173.8 billion shillings to 58.97 billion, which is a reduction of 114.87 billion. That would mean, Honorable Speaker, that there is a creation of an additional fiscal space of 114 billion shillings. What we need to see is that to have a policy that this particular fiscal space that is created by this reduction of this stock of debt, Honorable Speaker, is reflected in, on development expenditures, Honorable Speaker, so that this fiscal space created does not go again either to fund repayment of other debts or to go and fund recurrent expenditures. So my urge is that the committee should really make sure that Treasury now comes up with a policy to make sure that each fiscal space created, like this now created in this particular report of 114 billion shillings, is reflected on the development side, Honorable Speaker. Secondly, on the matter that we were discussing here on the budget and on NGCDF, Honorable Speaker, I have noticed that the last two budgets, both Supplementary 2 and Supplementary 3, have deliberately not provided resources for NGCDF allocation. And therefore, the owners have been left on this house now to try to get to fill that gap. In this Supplementary 3, it was 12 billion shillings. In Supplementary 2, it was, I think, 24 billion shillings. So what does this mean? That, Honorable Speaker, instead of now the departmental committees or even the budget committee trying to scrutinize the whole budget to ensure that the allocations are on priority projects, Honorable Speaker, then the work of the budget committee or the departmental committee now comes. Last time it was done by liaison committee, this time by budget committee, is now to try to fill that gap of 12 billion shillings. And now the risk is that now we fail to apply our minds on oversighting the rest of the budget. So I think we need to stand a very good communication and ensure that by the time these estimates are tabled in the House, funds that are ring-fenced either through the Constitution or through an Act of Parliament are sufficiently provided for, so that it is not now the work of the budget committee to try and find whether resources to loop that hole. Because again, we seem now to now only concentrate on that particular area at the expense of really oversighting and making sure that the budget is actually really appropriated according to priority areas of this country, Honorable Speaker, and fairly and transparently. With that, I beg to accept with the report and support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. There being no further interest on this matter, I would like to request the mover to reply. Just the mover, 1 minute. Don't want to indicate. I'd said if you wanted to work on this, you put intervention. You didn't put it. Don't want to indicate. You got 3 minutes. Have a say on this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I see the report from the committee is they are urging this out to consider, or the government to consider, having a national liability management policy. I think this is very key because the national liability management policy will address the usage, the costs, the sustainability of the debts that we have. But more so, it's very important that that policy is going to address up to the limit at which these debts are going to be borrowed at. Mr. Speaker, the problem that we're having now is because of lack of this policy that sets the guidelines. I remember when we passed the tax policy in this country, things started shaping up, in terms of how the tax management will be handled in this country. Mr. Speaker, in lieu, or in the absence of national liability management policy, it sets the government or gives the treasurer the leeway to do whatever they feel like in the debt management activities. It's my feeling, therefore, Mr. Speaker, that this policy is put in place immediately because it is going to set the guidelines, it is going to set the measures which own aim is to reduce the debt servicing. Mr. Speaker, we are having a serious problem. How money is being used, how the debts are being used. Right now, we don't know the costs of various debts. Mr. Speaker, we need to know, do we go for long-term debts, and what do we do? Do we go for short-term debt, and what do we do? Because in the absence of this, without a policy, that's why you are seeing some monies are not being taken care of, some budgets are not being taken up seriously, some issues are being left out. So I agree that with the committee report that there is a need to have a national liability management policy because it clearly will give the guidelines on how we are going to manage the debts of this republic. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Move on now.
Honourable Speaker, I thank the members for their support and comments, and I fully concur with the comments of Honourable Makali Mkulu, especially on the exchange rate, and all other members who have contributed to this motion. The committee will continue to work hard to ensure that this House is well informed on the changes on the Consolidated Fund services and sustainability of these mandatory expenditures that affect other critical budget expenditures. I also thank Honorable Irene Kasalu for her support in moving this motion. With that, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply. Thank you.
Members, I now put the question that this House adopts the report of the Public Debt and Privatization Committee on the consideration of the Consolidated Fund Services for Supplementary Estimates 3 for financial year 24-25, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 24th June 2025. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Members, if you remember, we had reorganized order paper to cover the orders we just finalized. I therefore wish we go back to order number 7. Order number 5. There is the Honorable John Murigi, you got a paper to lay.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Murigi, go ahead.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 25 June 2025. A report of the CPA Kenya delegation to the 67th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference held in Sydney, Australia, from 3rd to 8th November 2024. Thank you.
Accordingly, laid. Proceed to lay. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Members, we... The Honorable Kajuang, you have got a question. The Honorable Wundo, you're the first question on the order paper. Statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And this is a very important matter that touches all of us who are seated here and who are not even here and who represent the people of Kenya, the constituencies. Request for statement regarding the recategorization of public secondary schools. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the recent recategorization of public secondary schools. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Education has recently issued guidelines on the recategorization of secondary schools in preparation for the transitioning of grade 9 pupils to grade 10 in 2026. Although these guidelines are yet to be officially published on the Ministry website, a document containing the categorization of public secondary schools into classes of C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5 is already circulating on the various online platforms and social media. Strikingly, only 2 schools in the entire Busia County have been classified in as Cluster 1 national schools, which are Butula Boys High School and Kolanya Girls High School. Notably, no school in Funula constituency has been elevated to national school status, despite the elevation of several schools within the county and across the country. Among those elevated in Busia County are Nambale Boys High School and St. Stephen's Luanya Girls High School. Honorable Speaker, it is concerning that 2 prominent schools in Funula constituency, namely Sigalame High School and St. Cecilia Nagina Girls High School, have not been considered for the elevation of the status of a national school, Cluster C1. Sigalame High School, founded in 1965, currently has an enrollment of 1,062 learners and has in the past 3 years maintained an average mean score of 6.9. St. Cecilia Nagina Girls High School, founded in 1966, has a student population of 1,419 and has also in the past 3 years maintained an average mean score of 6.8 in KCSE. In addition, Sigalame High School and Cecilia Nagina Girls have recorded mean score of 7.26 and 7.031, respectively in 2024 KCSE, ranking 5th and 7th in Busia County. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson, the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, a report on the criteria that was used by the Ministry of Education to categorize public secondary schools in cluster C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5. 2, clarification whether the Ministry of Education may consider elevating Sigalame High School and Cecilia Nagina Girls High School to cluster C1, taking into account their long-standing history and consistent improvement in academic performance. And number 3, an indication as to whether the ministry may consider elevating other schools in Busia County to cluster 3, such as Samia Girls Secondary School, Nyakwaka Girls Secondary School, St. Peter's Busibi Girls Secondary School, and St. Aquinas Nandrema Boys Secondary School, given their role in providing boarding facility for vulnerable girls and a safe environment for boys facing social and family challenges. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I can't see any member of... the Honorable Rero, you're from Education Committee. How long will this take then to be processed through the committee? The Honorable Gisario.
Chair, 1 week after we resume from recess, we should be able to have an answer to that.
Okay, this should be in 2 weeks? Okay, 1 week after recess. So that should put us, I'm trying to get the calendar. That should put us when? 29th of July? Okay, so this should be responded on 29th July. And you are free to appear before the committee and have this processed before it's brought back to the House.
Honorable Speaker, that's a very good ruling, and I wish you could come much earlier.
No, we already made a decision.
Yeah, considering.
So just
put the perspective, so he can understand the essence, the urgency of the matter. Currently, the grade 9.
No order. Order, Honorable Wundo. Sit down. You had a chance to do your statement and allowed you without any single interruption. So we've made an order that the response to your statement will be brought back here on the 29th. Meanwhile, you are free to appear before the committee to converse this and any other matter you want to converse on the floor, because even if you give more information now, it won't help the House. So appear before the House, the committee concerned, But at any rate, the report will be brought back to us on the 29th of July. And this report, honorable member, must cover the whole country, not just Busia only. Thank you. The next one is the Honorable Irene Kasalu. Doctor.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding unlawful detention of the body of Mrs. Priscilla Nyokabi Gaku by the Kenyatta National Hospital mortuary. Honorable Speaker, the late Ms. Priscilla Nyokabi Gaku was admitted to Kenyatta National Hospital Private Wing on 2nd April 2024 under inpatient number IPOO 75640. Ms. Gaku was treated in hospital for 43 days, but unfortunately lost her life on 30th May 2024, leaving an outstanding bill of Kenya shillings 1,155,486, of which the family was only able to raise Kenya shillings 234,000. As a result, the hospital unlawfully detained the body of the deceased and demanded that the family offsets the pending bill. The continued detention of Ms. Gaku's body by the hospital has subjected the family of the deceased to inhumane torture. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. Number one, reasons for the detention of the body of the late Mrs. Priscilla Nyokabi Gaku by the Kenyatta National Hospital from the 30th May 2024 to date. Number two, steps being taken to ensure that the family of the deceased is able to collect and bury their loved one without any further delay. And number three, measures being taken to curb detention of patients and bodies by hospitals due to pending bills, which continue to accumulate during the period of such detention. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair, Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think this is an urgent matter because I get the information that the body is still detained. So it's something we are going to work on immediately, but the report will come within 1 week after we come from recess. But action definitely needs to be taken even before the recess because of the urgency if the body is still retained.
Thank you. The report we brought on the 29th of July, and that in any case, the honorable members advised to liaise with the Chair, Health Committee, so that any urgent matters that could be handled before then can be dealt with. Thank you. The Honorable Jimatia Florence. You got a statement?
I have.
Go ahead, you got the mic.
On the matter.
Or this is clean environment.
Oh, I don't have it here, Mr. Speaker. Okay. Sorry. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Orders 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Select Committee on Implementation regarding the status of implementation of resolution of National Assembly regarding initiative to promote clean environment. Honorable Speaker, by a resolution passed on Thursday, 21st April 2016, in the 11th Parliament, the House approved a motion sponsored by then member of Emuhaya constituency, Honorable Dr. Wilbur Chichilo, MP, resolving that the government declares on one Thursday of each month to be dedicated by every Kenyan household, organized groups, public and private institutions, and corporate organizations to cleaning and beautifying the immediate environment and public places, and also initiate a
proactive programs in all schools to inculcate the culture of keeping our environment clean and healthy. The intent behind this policy was to foster environmental responsibility, reduce pollution, and promote sustainable waste management practices as anchored in Article 69 and 70 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 2092A empowers the Committee on Implementation to scrutinize resolutions of the House and examine whether or not such decision and undertakings have been implemented and were implemented, the extent to which they have been implemented and whether the implementation has taken place within the minimum time necessary. It is therefore imperative that the House be appraised of the progress made by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change in the development and implementation of this initiative. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Select Committee of Implementation to provide a comprehensive report on the progress made in implementing the initiative to promote clean environment as passed by the National Assembly on Thursday, 21st April 2016. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Dear member of Implementation Committee in the House today. This case is referred to the Committee on Implementation to give us a report on 29th of July. We come back from recess. Next order.
Order number 15, motion, implementation of the universal health coverage and of a policy on a mandatory use of public health care facilities by public officers.
Is Honorable Sabina checking the House? So the motion is deferred. Next order.
Order number 16, motion, formulation of a land use policy of zoning of land for agriculture and built development.
Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, of the House, so the matter is again hereby deferred.
Order number 17, motion, formulation of a reward scheme for accomplishments by sports persons in international competitions.
Honorable Charles Ngosia. The motion is accordingly deferred for non-attendance of the sponsor. Next order.
Order number 18, motion, allocation of HELB funds to support students enrolled at the Kenya Medical Training College.
Honorable Shuri. It's quite unusual because the same thing happened last week on Wednesday, where members have their motions listed in the order paper, and they don't appear to prosecute the same. And when the majority side decides to try to get that time to use, a lot of complaints arise. So I've advised the Speaker that the motions for last week and this week be dropped permanently from the order paper. This motion 18 is also accordingly dropped for non-attendance of the sponsor. Next order.
Order number 19, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 37 of 2023, second reading.
I thought I saw Honorable Jack Omboka today in the House. So that bill is also deferred up to the next time it's in the order paper.
Order number 20, the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2024, second reading.
Yeah, this will also be deferred, and this is the second time we'll be deferring it for non-attendance of the sponsor. The House should note the same. Next order.
Order number 21, the County Government's Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 25 of 2023, second reading.
So members, this bill was also deferred last week for further consultations. And yeah, it will be dropped and the Speaker and the House business will deal with it accordingly. Next order.
Order number 22, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 21 of 2024, second reading.
I can't see the Honorable Dean Barasa in the House, and the bill is also hereby deferred for an attendance of the sponsor of the same. Oh, members, and the time now being 15 minutes to midday, this House stands adjourned until today, Wednesday, the 25th of June 2025 at 2:30 p.m.
Naye kwani angali. Sasa, nyinyi ndio mtanipeleka kwenda lunch? Wapi? Huko.